Fox 35 NewsEdge at 8 starts now.
Countdown range is no-go. Repeat, range is no-go.
Hold.
SpaceX calls off a launch just 10 seconds before a Falcon 9 rocket was set to blast off from the Space Coast. Hello, everyone. I'm Adam Shadoff. The FAA says a privately operated helicopter forced the launch to be canceled. Fox 35's Alina Shirazi has more from the Space Coast. Our Fox 35 storm team is keeping a close eye on the tropics tonight with two tropical waves that have the potential to develop, and meteorologist Brooks Garner joins me now. Brooks, are there any updates on the tracks of either of these two?
New for 8 o'clock, not so much the track because they've yet to develop, but definitely the potential to develop. In fact, the farthest east tropical wave has now a 60% chance, which means, yes, it is likely over the next 5 days to develop. Now, one thing to clear up, this looks like a cone of uncertainty, right? Like where it would be going. This is actually the region in which it could develop. So anywhere in this orange shaded area, it could develop. It's not a matter of, it's not specifically saying it's going here. It's just where it may track and then develop from there. And this is a 20% chance here. That one actually has gone down from a 30% chance. So this westernmost wave looks less likely to form. The easternmost wave looks very likely to form with lots of thunderstorm activity and also favorable conditions. The track as well. I've got both spaghetti plots plotted. The track of the orange one, the more likely one, takes it into the Caribbean Sea, which would be conducive for development. Where it goes from there could be a Gulf storm, could bury itself into Mexico there, producing some very dangerous flooding there for the Yucatan Peninsula, or it could cross over Cuba if it was to take that track and then affect us with some heavy rain. Too soon to say, number one, if this will form, and number two, where it may go, but stay tuned. I'll have updates right here as we know. Meanwhile, in town, in Orlando, it is starting to pour. We've got some big rains on the southwest side. Fox 35 Storm Tracker radar on it with heavy downpours from Dr. Phillips up to Ocoee, Lake Apopka, and the Claremont area. The chance for rain only going up as the week presses on. I'll show you the latest on that coming up in your full forecast. Adam.
All right, Brooks, thank you. In Orange County, a youth baseball coach is accused of using social media to share hundreds of images of child porn. Fox 35's Holly Bristow says parents are frantically calling police, worried the coach may have come into contact with their children.
So that I can proceed to go back to the state of Florida?
All right. Yes, that would expedite your return to Florida because you would not have to go through that process.
Othel Wallace, the man accused of shooting Daytona Beach police officer Jason Rayner, waived his formal extradition process in a Georgia court today. That means he'll be heading back to Florida sooner rather than later. You can follow the latest developments in this case with the Fox 35 News app, and if you turn on notifications, you'll receive alerts as soon as there is breaking news. And an update on Officer Rayner, who was shot in the head last week. He's in critical condition in the hospital tonight, but the police department says he is showing some signs of improvement. The community continues to rally around Officer Rayner outside Halifax Health Medical Center. A big group of tow truck drivers turned on their beacon lights tonight to show their support for the Rayner family. Organizers say tow truck drivers have a close relationship with law enforcement.
The towers and the police department work together a lot. We see each other nearly daily sometimes, whether it be on accident scenes and just, unfortunate, arrests and things like that where people can't drive their vehicle away.
The group is also collecting donations for the officer's family. You can find the link to the GoFundMe page on our website, fox35orlando.com. 12 people have died so far after the collapse of the Surfside condo building. 149 people remain unaccounted for. Fox 35's Phil Keating has the latest developments from South Florida. Still ahead on the Fox 35 News Edge at 8, California wants to prevent state-paid travel into the Sunshine State because of a new law. And the Super Bowl streaker faced a judge today, but he might not be able to outrun his legal troubles.
On the next Modern Family.
Get down! Shut up! I can't see a TV! Turn the fan on! Oh, yeah, like my head's going to explode!
Phil and Claire need a little R&R.
You remember when summer meant fireflies and cut-off shorts and ice cream trucks?
Well, 1 out of 3.
Next
tonight at 9:30 on Fox 35 plus WRBW.
Fox Bet Super 6 is giving away Big Papi's money all season long. Download the Super 6 app. It's free to play. Just make 6 picks for a chance to win $1,000.
I'm Luann Sorrell. Join me tonight on Fox 35 News at 10.
Bethune-Cookman University has resolved a costly dorm dispute. New details tonight. The Super Bowl streaker went before a judge today. You may remember that he ran across the field wearing that pink thong bodysuit during the game in Tampa. He was hoping to cut a plea deal with prosecutors, but the last deal was rejected by the judge, and now he's trying again to lessen his sentence.
I think you can tell by now that what might have been amusing back in the Super Bowl was not very amusing. It inconvenienced a lot of people.
No more streaking, I promise.
Andrade pled guilty to misdemeanor trespassing charges. He will have to serve 12 months of probation and complete 100 hours of community service. Next on the News Edge, the Pacific Northwest is finally seeing a little relief from the heat today, although it's very slight. Plus, Tour de France riders are demanding increased security measures after a spike in crashes during the race.
Watch Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Garner tonight on Fox 35 News at 10. Can't go to the match? Watch it on Fox 35 Plus, your home for Orlando City.
A news alert now. Parts of the Pacific Northwest are finally getting some slight relief from the excessive triple-digit temperatures. Still ahead in our next half hour, cruises return to Florida this week, and Fox 35 spoke exclusively to the Royal Caribbean CEO about the tough battle they face. And Walmart is offering to help patients with diabetes who are struggling to pay for their insulin.
Hold, hold, hold.
Today, SpaceX launched Scrubbed when a helicopter flew too close. Why Elon Musk is now demanding the U.S. government keep the skies clear. On Fox 35 News at 10.
I'm Kristen Giannis. Watch Good Day Orlando every day on Fox 35.
Fox 35 News Edge at 8 starts now.
Welcome back into the News Edge. Ooh, a little lightning, some dark clouds and thunder striking over downtown Orlando tonight. And Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Brooks Gardner is, of course, tracking all the latest. Brooks, it's pretty active radar tonight, apparently, huh?
It is. I mean, you see the lightning out there, the sky kind of vibrating, the thunder sounding, and the rain is definitely falling. In fact, we've got a flood advisory right now for southwest Orange County and northwestern Osceola County. This area, including Kissimmee, including the SeaWorld area, Dr. Phillips region. And that's thanks to an earlier storm, but the storm producing all that lightning from that camera now cruising right through downtown Orlando, moving west toward Apopka. So we are not done yet. The storm's continuing. To the north, it hasn't yet really done much, but that's going to change. You can see that line moving north and east toward the town of Paisley and Eustis, and eventually the villages. So we've got a rainy pattern on tap, and live lightning tracker continuing to show those strikes, most of them around Orlando. Don't forget, this is that time of year when thunder roars go indoors. Wait 30 minutes until the last strike to go back outside, especially if you're out playing soccer or doing anything out in the field, playing golf. You want to wait a half an hour or so until the last bit of thunder, because it can strike again. It can strike behind the storm. Avoid conductors of electricity like long fence lines. That's one of the biggest killers with lightning is fences. Believe it or not, if you're within the vicinity of a fence, even if lightning strikes a mile down the road, it can travel all the way down that fence. Download the Fox 35 Storm Team app for the latest. This thing will actually tell you when lightning is striking in your area. So if for some reason you're in a noisy environment, you'll get an alert right on your phone and let you know that it's on the way. Speaking of on the way, the tropics are on the way. We've got the tropical season upon us, and the hurricane season is certainly making itself known. 20% chance of this tropical wave developing, but now a 60% chance of this tropical wave developing. Now, important to note, this orange region does not depict where the storm is expected to go. It is not the cone of uncertainty. It's simply a region in which anywhere inside the shaded area, this tropical wave may develop. So it's kind of trudging west at about 8 miles an hour, maybe up to 10 miles an hour. It's possible it develops tonight, maybe it develops tomorrow, or maybe if you fast forward, it'll develop sometime this weekend. We'll just have to see. But that's why that is such an elongated zone. Very easy to be confused. That's not the cone of uncertainty. That said, let's talk about uncertainty. There's a possibility, statistical likelihood, in fact, that this becomes a tropical depression or a tropical storm over the next 5 days, and in doing so tracks into the Caribbean. Where it goes, what it becomes, still up for question, but some computer models do organize it into at least a tropical storm and then take it into the Caribbean. From there, it could go north, west, or into the central Gulf. Stay tuned on that. That would be for the beginning and middle of next week, so we'll watch that very carefully. The next name on the list is Elsa. all, Frozen. Yeah, that Elsa. And Fred to follow. All right, let's talk about the forecast here. Locally, we've got this thunder shower over downtown Orlando, 73 degrees. And here's a look at Fox 35 storm tracker radar. It is really coming down from Winter Park to Orlando to just southwest of Altamont Springs, rolling northwest toward Lake Apopka. Now, as far as the caliber of these storms, they're not severe, but they're very heavy rain makers. And we've got more storms once you get south into the Lakeland area and Polk County. All right, our forecast for the next 7 days, storm chances going up, temperatures remaining close to where they are with upper 80s for highs. And for the 4th of July Sunday, it looks like we're going to have some rain during the day. Hopefully those storms finish up before the fireworks are launched. All right, Adam.
Yeah,
back to you.
July 4th would be nice with no storms. All right, cruises are ready for their chance to get back to normal, and one of the biggest proponents to get vacationers back on the water is Royal Caribbean's CEO. Fox 35's Alina Shirazi spoke with him in an exclusive interview. Royal Caribbean says unvaccinated guests over the age of 12 must purchase travel insurance for Florida cruises. The policy must cover COVID-19 related medical expenses, quarantine, and evacuation. Still ahead on the Fox 35 News Edge at 8, it's not easy to get around without a car, but luckily there's a new carpool service in Orlando that's going to help out. Plus, a McDonald's customer finds himself behind bars after he loses his cool when the workers forget his dipping sauces.
Coming up,
people really do care.
After the Miami building collapse, how the Central Florida Jewish community is banding together to help. Tonight on Fox 35 News at 10.
7-day forecast brought to you by Amco Transmission and Total Car Care Center.
Four-month-old Zane from Winter Park is the newest Gerber baby. Judges say he captivated them with his cheerful attitude, infectious giggles, and a playful smile that can light up any room. He was quite a miracle to his mom, a breast cancer survivor, who doubted she could conceive naturally after going through chemo, radiation, and a double mastectomy. Little Zane will be joining Good Day Orlando over on Fox 35 tomorrow morning. Cute kid. The city of Orlando is investing $100,000 into a new carpool service to help low-income employees get to work. Fox 35 Cindy Cameron has the details. Time now to check out the stories making headlines online tonight. And your first headline comes from TMZ. It reads, McDonald's mayhem. Cops say a guy calls in with a bomb threat over missing nugget sauce. This is real. The hangry Iowa man was arrested for making a false report after officers say he called the restaurant telling them he hoped the building would blow up because they forgot his dipping sauce. People have gone crazy. He also apparently said he wanted to punch the employee over the mistake. Your next headline comes from us at Fox 35 Orlando. It reads, a man plans a Disney trip to Disney World to make good on his wife's dying wish. Garrett and Katie Adams took time off for their planned honeymoon to the Walt Disney World, but this past winter, Katie went to the hospital with stomach pains, and a month later, the 28-year-old suddenly passed away. Well, Garrett planned for this trip now to be a tribute for his late wife, bringing along a framed photo of his high school sweetheart and sharing his journey online. And your final headline comes from the New York Post. It reads, Yabba Dabba Doo, Flintstone homeowner can keep statues after settlement. A California home can continue to bring people back to the town of Bedrock. The owner has settled a lawsuit with the town that claimed the landscaping violated local codes. The town has been ordered to pay a $125,000 settlement with the eccentric owner. Next on the News Edge, owners of a legendary Orlando restaurant got a shock when they announced they're being forced to raise prices just to keep doors open. Plus, a dream 60 years in the making finally comes true. We meet the newest honorary member of the Yankees next.
The Big Bang Theory coming up next on Fox 35 Plus.
Coming up, a tow truck vigil, how local drivers are showing support for the Daytona Beach officer still fighting for his life. Tonight, after Metro Samurai.
We are expecting a huge increase in travel for the 4th of July weekend. According to AAA, more than 90% of people will be driving to their vacation destinations. Gas prices in Florida are expected to increase as well. AAA says that won't stop people from hitting the road. Thursday and Friday are likely going to be the busiest driving days. Next on the Fox 35 News Edge at 8, an Orange County man is honoring veterans with pennies. 10,000 of them to be exact. And there's a special meaning behind all these coins. A local man is honoring some American heroes, one penny at a time. Fox 35's Jessica Albert explains why he started his effort. Still ahead on the Fox 35 News Edge at 8, new research finds some benefits to playing video games that could help in a child's future success.
Saludos, I'm Jenny Castillo from Rumba, and you're watching Fox 35 Plus. Up next, The Big Bang Theory. Mayim Bialik is a real scientist with a PhD in neuroscience, just like her character Amy. Qué inteligente, ¿ah? The Big Bang Theory is coming up next.
Brought to you by Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
Welcome back. Tracking thunderstorms across parts of the Orlando area and central Florida. Most of this action is northwest of town now, heading up out of Altamont Springs toward Eustis. And there will be a couple of showers also up into the Sanford area. Nothing severe out there, just a little bit of rain making the roads wet from Apopka up through the Zellwood area. Coming up on the other channel, Fox 35 News at 10. I'm tracking the latest in the tropics because just in, new for 8 o'clock, there's a 60% chance that this tropical wave will develop into a tropical depression or even a tropical storm over the next 5 days. From there, the general track takes it west toward the Caribbean. That is something we will need to watch very carefully. This area, though, has a less than likely chance of just 20%. But yeah, this is a new development. I want to show you the latest spaghetti models where we put all the computer models together, forecasting its possible path together to show you that, yes, indeed, there's a consensus that whatever forms, if anything forms, and that's not a guarantee, will move into the Caribbean Sea. And if it forms, where it goes, well, that's still up to question. It could go into the Atlantic, the Gulf, or into Mexico, but it's something we'll watch very carefully, and I'll have an update on the other channel, Fox 35 News at 10, in just a few minutes. Adam?
All right, thank you, Brooks. Trending now, turns out playing video games could actually help improve your future. A new report says that most people found all their hours mastering the controls helped them in the real world. 47% believe the competitive nature of the games help push them to succeed in other parts of their lives. And another big plus for gamers is their hand-eye coordination, problem-solving skills, and creativity. They all improved. If you've been trying to switch things up during the pandemic, you are not alone. 45% of men took advantage of their time in quarantine to experiment with their look, and that included trying different hairstyles, new clothing styles, and growing out their beards. About 82% of people surveyed say they like their new look and they decided to keep the makeover. Hey, thanks for watching us on the Fox 35 News Edge at 8 on Fox 35 Plus. You can catch more news on the Fox 35 News at 10 and 11 and anytime on our website, fox35orlando.com. Have a great night.